Okay, so the first thing I would do looking at this question, given it's a quadratic, I can see that it's going to factorize, so I'm going to start off by doing that. I'm going to say y equals, and put up my two brackets on the top line and my two brackets on the bottom line. And on the bottom line, that's 2 take x and 2 plus x. And on the top line, it's x, and we're looking for plus 5 take 2. Now looking at that, there's nothing that obviously cancels, but if I rewrite it as x plus 5, x take 2, and then I take out a negative on here, I can say that that's x take 2, and then x plus 2. Remember, the negative would only affect one bracket before you'd multiply the other one. Now, looking at that, it looks like I can cancel that and that, but if I do, I have to remember that x cannot equal 2. I have to remember this, okay? And given that x cannot equal 2, that's one of those bits in the graph where we would have like a hole. Okay, that's what that would give me. An anomaly or a singularity is the official term. Okay, so now I'm left with what looks like a fairly nice fraction. We do have our intercepts. Before we simplified, we could see that our top line gives us our intercepts. So let's write down the x-intercepts. Okay, we know that they would be at -5, 0 and at 2, 0, but this one is the singularity. Okay, so we know it's a hole, but we know it's on the x-intercept. The y-intercept is when x equals 0, and if we did that, we would get 0, -5 over 2. Okay, now what about asymptotes? Asymptotes, or poles as they're also called. Well, looking at the bottom line, we know that x equaling -2 is a problem. And we need to consider what happens as x gets really, really large or really, really small. Well, as it gets really, really large, so as x tends to infinity, we can see the fact that we've got x over -x. So that would be x over -x, because we only care about the highest component, which equals -1. So therefore, I know that y equals -1 is also an asymptote. And since I know it's a standard reciprocal graph of x over x, I only have to look for that. Okay, so putting all of that together, we have y equals -1 going across. We've got -2 going down. We know we've got a singularity at 2. We know we're crossing the x-axis over here. So there's that bit. There's that bit. And at 2, we have our singularity. Okay. So strictly speaking, we should have that. Okay. And then we should go through and do some labeling. That's -2. That's -2.5. That's -1. That's 2 on our axis. And really, that's -5. I apologize. That's -2.5. Nobody's too worried about your scale because it's all about the key features rather than the scale.